Hey everybody, this is my first review on YouTube, so if everybody will just bear with me while I kind of go on my maiden voyage and figure out how to do this and do it well. This is going to be a review of the Oakley X Squared model. I've recently been adding quite a few pieces to my Oakley collection, and I've been inspired by some other people who have been doing some reviews on YouTube, and by looking on YouTube for reviews that I want that I haven't found. So I figured if I'm looking for a review on something, somebody else might be looking for it too. Special shout out to Dan at oreview.com for kind of providing some of that inspiration, some really awesome reviews that he's been doing lately. And yeah, if you ever want a really good resource for Oakley information, oreview.com, o-review.com is great, as well as oakleyforum.com, which is a small but growing forum. A little background on myself. Been an Oakley collector and a huge Oakley fan since mid-90s. Really, came on board with them in the beginning of their golden age, the late 90s. Mid to late 90s, early 2000s. And big X-Metal fan. So this is the most recent addition to the X-Metal line. Came out a couple of years ago in a number of variations. This was the first new X-Metal since, I believe, the Romeo 2. No, I'm sorry, the Half-X. But some people really don't count the Half-X, and I'm probably one of those. I think in many regards I consider the design to be a Juliet 2.0. I still think that the Juliet could probably use a freshening, some things that could be changed, but keeping the original in production. This fixes some of those things. One of those things is you'll notice the primary characteristic that makes this X-Metal different from its Juliet and XX counterparts is there's no rivets on that nose bridge. They are secured. The nose bridge is secured to the orbitals by screws that are back there. Takes away a little bit from the X-Metal characteristics. Yeah, a little bit. Not quite as distinctive, perhaps. But I don't think it hurts the overall design. And what that does is it allows you to loosen and tighten them without having to send them to Oakley for a tune-up to be tightened, because on the XX and on the Juliet, the couplers that are inside the nose bridge loosen over time, and you have to send them in. And in the early days, in the late 90s, early 2000s, that tune-up was $25. Then it went up to about $40. Now it's $70 with shipping, so that's pretty pricey. One of the things they changed about this also, they shortened the ear stems, which I think makes them a little bit more secure. There's a modified hammer stem, so the hammer stem that was only present on the XX and the polished Juliet is now present here, and what that does is that pulls the ear stem in a little bit and allows more of the ear stem to lay flat against your head, so it doesn't dig into the side of your head, whereas on the regular Juliet ear stems, they just kind of come straight back into your head. At least on my head they do, and I have a fairly large head, or so I've been told. And I really like how they did this hammer stem with that little O signature right there. I like that. One of the first things that caught my eye when the X Squared came out was this particular frame option, which is the polished carbon. This had not been previously available on any X-Metal. It was a brand new finish, and there was a carbon on the Juliet, but this has more of a polish, hence the name. It's more of a sheen, very glossy, it's very reflective, and I think it looks really sharp. I personally think it's probably one of the best finishes in the line. in the X metal line. Of course, the 24K on the XX is undeniably classic, and I still think the polished, the silver polished on the Juliet is just grade A. And this is right up there. You may notice, if you're familiar with the line, with the X squared line, that there's this particular piece is maybe something you've never seen before. I did some special modifications to this piece. The polished carbon was only available with black iridium polarized lenses, which is what I bought. And